Mariana Gariazzo, and today I'm going to be talking about the foundational concepts on breathing for flute players and any other wind instrument player, for that matter. It's so great to see you. I see some kids actually in their band hall right now, zooming from there. It's so exciting. This is always this masterclass series is so exciting because we have all types of flutists joining us from middle school to high school, teachers, band directors, professional flutists. It's such a delight to be able um, to share this information with you. Such an honor. So thank you so much for attending. So first, right, I'm always curious to know where you are zooming from. So if you can tell me the city where you're zooming, I'm gonna try to keep an eye on the chat and learn about your location. So that would be fantastic to learn about. Well, um, wow, Michigan, all these places. That is Alaska. That is so exciting. London, South Korea. Oh my goodness, that is so cool. I bet that this is a very different time frame for some time zone for some of you. But let's talk about the breath because it is perhaps the most important element of tone production. There are many, but the breath is so foundational that I think that it's always very good to keep in mind our breath work and to um, really conceive the breath as something very important that shapes the phrasing that shapes our musical ideas, and that it is the source of energy that we musicians utilize daily. So, the exercises that we will be practicing together will improve not only your breath and your your sound support or your breath support, your sound in general, but also they will improve the overall quality of your tone, right? Because you're going to be playing from the center of our breath, from the center of our tone, center of our being in a way, and gaining better intonation, better color, better projection, better dynamics, and everything. So I hope that you enjoy this sequence of exercises that I have designed for you. And this is a disclaimer. If at some point you feel dizzy, we may, um, please stop and start breathing through your nose calmly. And then when you feel a little bit better, resume the exercise with all of us. Okay, so are you ready to start? We're going to spend some air, my friends, today. Okay, so now breathing is very important for all wind instruments, but especially for the flute because we use as much air as blank. So if you know the instrument I am comparing the flute in terms of expenditure of air, you can put it in the chat. Which is the instrument that spends as much air as the flute? Okay, that's a little quiz for you. Yes, Dante, Isabella, the tuba, exactly. Big instrument, small instrument, yet we spend a lot of air. So in this first segment of exercises, we are going to be um, working on increasing the airflow in and outside the body. So now, this is very important. We have to learn how to breathe. So I want you to use the syllable O, but without the sound. If you had difficulty hearing what I was trying to say, then that was my mission accomplished. When we breathe in, we should not hear any kind of high pitch sound. It should be really open, expansive, trying to gather warm and rounded air, warm and rounded air. So breathe with me silently. And breath out, also without a sound. Breath out, warm and rounded air too. That is the kind of breathing that we will be applying in all of these exercises. So let's do it a couple more times again. Breathe in, breathe out. Excellent, very good. So if you hear anything like this, that that means that there's tension in your chest cavity, your throat, and that will have a direct effect on your tone. So we want to make sure that we breathe openly and in a relaxed way. So there are different tools that I use in order to enhance my breathing practice. One of them is a plumbing fitting device that I find at Home Depot or any store that sells plumbing things, pipes. And this is a very, very short, about an inch cylindrical device, plastic. And I use this to breathe in and out. You can also use a PVC tube of about this diameters, and then you can breathe in the same way that I just did with you through the little tube. You heard the sirens, but not my breath, I bet. Okay, very good. So this is one thing that we can use. Sometimes I even use or attach to this tube a plastic bag. And this is a regular plastic bag. It's just a Ziploc bag of 1 gallon. And this helps me because then I can see exactly how much air I can sustain in my lungs. Right? And then I can inhale all of this air. So, but disclaimer is that we cannot breathe in and out the same air that we just put in the bag several times. I do it maybe 3 times, and then I just breathe regular air because it does not feel good for my brain and for my health. So I'm going to show you this one more time. So we are going to be, I'm going to breathe in 3 counts or 4 counts, and then I'm going to breathe and inhale. I'm going to inhale in 1 count. I find the breathing bag very easy to make and also very helpful because it really opens up my rib cage right here. It demands me to do a good effort in inhaling and getting that air in as fast as possible. We can also breathe in and out with our hand, and that is what we are going to be working on in just a second. So, first, let's talk about expansion. Expansion is a key word for effective breathing. Our goal in this exercise that we are going to do is to be able to inhale the largest amount of air that we can with the least mental and physical effort. So let's see. In our breathing system, we have to be aware of our abdominal wall. So I invite you to put your hand below your belly button and all around your waist. That is your abdominal wall. So that's one function of our breathing system. And the other one is the chest cavity. And in the chest cavity, let's find out the parts. Is the upper chest. This is the sternum. So this is our breastbone right here. So if you put a hand here and you inhale, you can raise the sternum, and that is one of the aspects of the chest cavity. It's very important that we don't raise our shoulders. So avoid this at all costs, right? So when we talk about the chest, it's raising the chest bone, right? And the other area that is important is the intercostal muscles around the rib cage. So if you put your hands right on the rib cage, then you can expand your rib cage when you inhale. So that's the function of the chest, opening up all of our chest cavity. Now, it is very important to start our breathing in the abdominal wall because when we do that, we lower our bellies and we create more room for the chest cavity to expand. So the lower we go in our breathing, the more capacity we can have. Okay, so there's a downward movement and an outward movement of the chest. Downward movement of the diaphragm or the abdominal wall, and outwards and raised and upward and outward movement of the chest cavity. Okay, but let's now work on this little bellows exercise in order to recognize all of these different parts of our torso. So a bellows, as you know, is a tool used to blow air, like the bellows in an accordion. Now we're going to be using our bodies like a bellows. So we're going to become aware that our body and breathing system can be a wonderful and effective bellows for us. So the first exercise, don't laugh, is the chicken, right? And in this chicken exercise, we are going to put our hands under the armpits like that. And like a chicken, you want to breathe expanding your rib cage horizontally. So you want to move the rib cage this way. And you can do one more with me. Always remember that the air is warm and rounded, going in and out. The next one is a little bit more tricky, and it's called the diagonal bellows. And in this one, we're going to put one hand on the chest right here, and the other hand on the lower back. So this is how it works. We are going to, when we inhale, we are going to raise the chest and flatten it when we exhale. Inhale. And remember not to raise your shoulders. It's just the upper chest. It's just the sternum or the breastbone. And at the same time, now we are going to, with the hand that we have in the lower back, we're going to try to expand the lower back. And that is hard because we are not very used to doing that. So our brains have a hard time telling those muscles to expand. So it's the chest goes out, and then the lower back also expands outwards. And it creates like a diagonal in which you expand your chest cavity this way. All right. So now this other one, this is my favorite, and this is the piston exercise. So like a piston in a car, we want to create the breath. We want to go down with the breath to the bottom of our feet. So when you inhale, push down your diaphragm, your abdominal wall, and release when you exhale. Inhale, going down, and exhale, going up. One more time, go down. And there we go. And now let's do some playing with that. I'm going to share my screen. And actually, I can share that document with you, but I think I'm going to do that. I'm going to share the document, and then I'm going to share my screen so that if you have difficulty seeing the document on the screen, then you can open it up in your computer. Okay. And now I'm going to share the screen so that I can see it too. There we go, from the beginning. Okay, so in this exercise, I need my flute. This exercise, of course, is to develop breath support, steadiness, and consistency in our airstream. So I want us to play a long tone. Here's a B flat. We're going to start with that, with no vibrato, with a full tone as long as you can. So generously spend your air. Now, the key is that we need to apply what we just learned. We are going to breathe in this warm and rounded air and then push out the air warm and rounded. Now, let's apply some of the different bellows exercises that we did. And let's start with my favorite, the piston. So when we breathe in and out, remember to lower your abs, lower the abdominal wall, and then when you exhale, relax and goes out and let the air go. Let's do this together, okay? With a B flat, you can play another note. Maybe a G or a D would be good. Breathe in. Again, breathe in. In, going downwards. Now let's choose another pitch. How about B natural? And in this one, we are going to do, let's say, we did the piston. Let's do the diagonal bellows, right? So you're going to expand your chest and your lower back. So let's try that one. On a B natural. And lower back. And lower back. Excellent. Let's do another one. You can play a C. I'm going to play an A. And in this one, we're going to do the chicken one. So I'm going to try to put my hand right there. You don't have to. And make sure that you are expanding your rib cage right below your armpit outwards when you do this one. So you play the C, I play the A. Rib cage out. One more time. Excellent. And what is next right here on this score? It's just a simple B flat major scale. So now we're going to apply the piston, the diagonal, and the chicken all together in each one of these notes. All right. You can breathe. We're gonna do the counting in four. Let me put a metronome here. And you can breathe after every note, or you can breathe every two, every three, as many as you please. Let's be a little bit easier on us. We're gonna go fast. Okay. Breathe rounded, warm air. One, two. Good. And so it seems a simple exercise, but if we concentrate really in the way that we inhale, in filling in with air every little corner of our torso, then it can be really effective and you'll notice a big difference in your tone. Now, for the sake of timing, I'm going to continue here. And this is one other of my favorite exercises. I call this the quiet breather because I'm really emphasize not making a noise when we inhale, which is very difficult. So in this exercise, we're going to play the phrase that is written there. And if we count as 8 beats, right? And then in the next measure, at the third measure, we are going to breathe in first in 4 beats. All right, so we're gonna breathe here in this measure in 4 beats silently. And make sure that you are inhaling throughout the 4 counts. So not at the very end, but rather throughout the whole 4-beat measure. So let's do the first line and the second line. I'm gonna have the metronome counting for us. Okay, take a big warm breath. Inhale, 2, 3, 4. 3, 4. The funny thing is that if I count, I cannot do the exercise properly. Okay, now we're going to try this other way. We're going to play the same melody, but we're going to breathe only in 2 beats. So 2 counts to breathe in. Still breathe in a relaxed form with warm and rounded air. So one more time from the top. 1, 2. 1, 2. Good. And now the last way in which we will practice this exercise is just giving ourselves only 1 count, 1 beat to breathe in this measure. So we'll play the same melody, but we'll breathe only in 1 beat. Still relax. Make sure that you are not making a sound, a hissing sound. Really open throat and chest. One more time. Stop it right there. And you do have this document in the chat. I'm happy to share it again. But now let's do another series of exercises. If we have more time, we'll come back to this one, or I can answer questions. So let's stop the share right now. And so you have the breathing 101 right there. And now let's do another set of exercises. You can put the flute away for these ones. Give me just 1 second to get things straightened out right here. Okay, so in these exercises, we're going to utilize movements, and we are going to move your hands, and we're going to use the hands to breathe. So make sure that you're not holding the flute, okay? So first, let's breathe in all the way up, extending your hands as if you were to touch the ceiling, and then release all your air. Breathe in, and now breathe out. Now, in the next time, we're going to breathe in all the way up, and we're going to release the air as fast as we can, like that. Okay, but make sure you don't do what I just did. Don't collapse your spine. So breathe out, keeping your spine straight. Excellent. So keep your spine straight and release the air as quickly as possible. One more time. At your own time. Excellent. You guys are so good at this. Okay, so the next one is called stop the air. All right. So I'm going to show you the exercise because it's kind of weird. So I'm going to show you the exercise once, and then I'm going to explain you how to do it. Okay. Okay, looks funny, but it's very interesting. So you're going to inhale with warm, open air, and then you're going to exhale. And as you are exhaling, you're going to stop the air with your finger here. You're going to put the fingers on your lips and create a resistance. And notice when you do that, something happens in your belly. What is that happens? The abdominal wall gets engaged because we are stopping the air, so you can feel the resistance there. Okay, so after you stop the air right here, you're gonna let it go, pop out, and your air will just release. Okay, so we're gonna do that again. We are going to inhale, then let your air out, stop the air, and then let the air out. Inhale. And one more time. Inhale. Okay, very good. We are now going to do this other exercise that is called fight for air. Fight for air. Again, I'm going to demonstrate the exercise, and later on I'll explain you how to do it. Okay, so this is how we do this one. We first breathe out all the air. Then we're going to place the fingers, the index, between the lips. We're going to fight for air a little bit because it's impossible to breathe. So don't cover all of your lips, just partially. And you're going to kind of suck the air inside, and you'll notice how your rib cage really struggles to get the air. Fight for air. And then you release and let the rib cage get that air in. So again, you breathe out, fight for air, and keep inhaling. Breathe out, fight for air, keep inhaling. Okay, very good. All right, so the next exercise, I hope that the video is doing okay. I'm not in my regular setting. I'm tuning in from Argentina, so it's a little bit different. So I'm hoping that the video is working okay for you tonight. The next exercise is called sip up. And so we're going to breathe in half notes like this. Actually, I should do it with my right hand. Okay. And then we're going to sip up and top up our breath. And I am making a noise in purpose so that you can hear what I'm doing. So again, we're going to do half note inhale, and then sip, sip, sip more air. Let's do that together. Excellent. Release. And make sure that when you are sipping and topping up with more air, you don't raise your shoulders. So expand your chest in the ways that we did it previously. One more time, half notes, and then 3 sips. Release. Okay, now we're going to inhale in quarter notes. 4 quarter notes. Sip, 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 release. Okay, one more time. 4 quarter notes inhale. Okay, this other one makes me a little bit dizzy, I must confess. We're going to inhale in 8th notes. Sip, release. Okay, one more time, 8 notes. And release. Okay, you dizzy? I'm a little bit dizzy. Okay, so now the next exercise is called floating paper airplanes. It's been many years since I played with a paper airplane, but we can have an imaginary one here. And this one is easy. You're going to breathe in the way that we practice, rounded and warm air. And then you're going to inhale noiseless air stream. Very constant, very steady, rounded warm air going away from you. One more time, inhale. One important thing that I discovered when I do this exercise is that I tend to harden my tongue and my lips when I do this. So make sure that when you are blowing your air away, you relax your face, relax your tongue, your lips, your jaw. And that means that you're going to engage your core muscles. So if you relax here, your core muscles will need to do the work of sending the air out. Try one more time, and I promise we'll go to play in just 1 second. But inhale, and as you send the air out, make sure that your core muscles engage and your muscles in your mouth relax. Excellent. Okay, the last of this series of exercise is wind pattern. So we all know Twinkle Twinkle Little Star, right? Okay, so now you're going to sing that in your head, and you're going to feel in the palm of your hand your airstream going warmly and steadily. As you sing, we all sing together mentally, Twinkle Twinkle Little Star. So make sure that your air is heating up your palm right here with a steady air, and breathe in the way that we practice. Expansion is key. You expand downwards, you expand outwards, you lift your chest cavity. And that's how you start. And then when you have to take a breath in the middle of our imaginary song, you will do it the same way. Okay, so here's Twinkle Twinkle. 1, 2, 3. Great job. Great job, everyone. Okay, good. So now, how about we apply all of these wind pattern and wind exercises to some music? I'm going to share the screen again. And you see in that package that I share, we have a couple of Harry Potter melodies. So I thought we can use those ones to apply our breathing skills. So we go to Hedwig's theme right here. And you can either way breathe in the pink highlighted breath right there, or if you need to breathe earlier, you can do so too. Okay, there's no problem. You are the owner and the boss of your body, so you know when to breathe and when you need to breathe. Don't force it. Always work in a very relaxed way. Okay, so you can play with along with me. How about that? Let's all play the melody first. all together, starting on a B natural. Make sure that you get the accidentals there. There's an A sharp. A sharp is the same as B flat for you, middle schoolers. Let's go together. Let's repeat. Now let's wind pattern this song. Just like we did with Twinkle Twinkle, we're going to sing the song, the melody, mentally, and we're going to send the air steady into our palm. Warm, rounded air. Very good. But now that you got a sense of your air hitting the palm and how the air goes into your flute and that the air is steady, I want you to pay attention to the moment in which you are breathing. More specifically, to the moment in which you leave the note to get open and wide to inhale the air. So make sure that you are relaxing in the last note to open up. Don't rush it, and then play the rest of the song in your palm. So one more time, we're going to wind pattern this melody, paying now specific attention to the inhale that we do in the middle. Excellent. So now let's try the melody again. Being aware of your steady airstream and the relaxed way in which you're going to maximize your inhale on the pink breath mark. Very good. Now we're going to apply the same, but now transposing the same melody one half a step up. So we're going to start the melody in C. We'll do the same thing with our flute. So let's play along. Repeat. We have yet another transposition. Now we're going to start on D. Watch out because this one has two flats and a C sharp. One more time. Repeat. Okay, challenge. Can we do it in just one phrase? If you can't, don't worry about that, but we can try. We can try playing this just in one breath. And I promised with some practice, you can do it that way. It's really a matter of practice, okay? And making sure that you are widening your chest cavity, lowering those abs to create more room inside your body. So now I bet that you were very eager to play the entire song. So we can do that. We can practice breathing with the entire song right here. I'm gonna make this more readable for you, and I'll check on the chat in a second. I know that there's a lot going on there, but my multitasking skills are limited. Okay, good. So here I think we get somehow the entire, okay, and you have that score for you. So here we play the entire theme. Breathe whenever you need. I did put some suggested breath marks that we just rehearsed, but you can add your own. So let's all play along. Warm air, expand your ribcage, lower your abs. Nice, isn't it? Very good. So I'm going to stop the share and then I'm going to read a little bit the chat to see what was happening. And then we can do some others. You have a book of it. Isn't that a great melody? I find that it is excellent also for teaching accidentals, transposition, and it's so engaging. I really like that a lot. Okay, good. Do we have any questions that you want to put in the chat about breathing before we do a couple more exercises that I will demonstrate? Okay, very good. So now we're going to do these ones that I do with my breathing bag. So we can do it with our hands. Some of you might be familiar with the technique of breathing in through your fingers right here. Right? And so the technique is you put your index finger right here in the middle of your mouth and you create some resistance. Remember the fight for it kind of breathing? So we create some resistance for the air. But the sound of our inhale still needs to be really deep, not like wheezing, not high pitch. So avoid this. You don't want to create that. You really want to create a deeper sound in your inhale. So I put the first knuckle of my index finger right here to create that resistance. And then I blow warm air. Okay, now we're going to inhale in 4 and we're going to exhale in 4 all together. Okay. 1. Let me get this hand. All right. Inhaling. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. One more. Inhale. Exhale. Excellent. Now we're going to inhale in 2 and exhale in 6. Inhale in 2, exhale in 6. You ready? and 1. Excellent, everyone. Last one. We're going to inhale in 1. Make sure that it's not a high pitch. Avoid that deep pitch. Inhale, and then we're going to blow out in 8. You got to last for 8 counts, okay? So measure yourself. Don't spend all the air at first. You got to measure yourself. One more time. We're going to do now, inhale in 1, exhale in 8 counts. Ready? And excellent. Very good. And I'm sure that you got some good air in your brain right now. I promise you, if you keep this awareness of this, if you can take anything away, take away the chicken, take away the diagonal, take away the piston, right? And play around with those images, these bellows that we have in our bodies. And every time that you are taking a new phrase, think about, am I using the piston bellows? Or am I using my chicken bellows? Or I am using my diagonal? The one that you don't want to use is this one, for sure. So make sure that you fill in your air from the bottom up. The piston, diagonal, chicken. And now you have so much air inside, you won't know what to do with so much air. So train those muscles to inhale deeply, wisely, and your flute playing will be so improved, I promise. And of course, I am available for any questions you may have. You can send me an email. I will make sure that the PDF that I share with you in the chat is distributed and through email after the masterclass, and you can also find the recording of this masterclass. I'm gonna check to see if you have questions right there in the PDF. I thank you all for joining me tonight. It's been a pleasure sharing these thoughts with you about breathing. So thank you so much for joining.